Hey, how's it going? How's it going? Thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate it. Thank you. Hope you're having a good day. Gonna be working on a few pages of my comic today. Gotta bring in a few other pages that we have. Had missed a few pages. On to 6 up here. Okay, cool. So we got this one that kind of lined up. I think that's pretty much lined up where we want for the most part. I think that should be pretty good. So now we'll need to change the layer type. Rise here, then we'll convert it brightness and opacity. To convert some tones. This perfect. Um, do that. Just trying to make the blacks a little blacker. Just because what I'll do is I'll draw everything traditionally and pencil it and ink it, and then I'll move it over to the computer, try to color it. So I have to try to convert all this stuff over. Contrast a little. The brightness of it. What we want to do is try to get these black lines a little blacker. I think that's good there. And we'll merge those two. Perfect. Change the name of this one. Line. We'll do this one as flats. All right, perfect. So now what we should be able to do whenever we're ready is like the way that's looking. May need a colored one. There we go. Okay, yeah, that's gonna work out pretty good, I think. So whenever we're ready to start coloring this one, we'll be able to kind of do our flats and everything. But let's try to finish this page, I think. This is just a full page, and I know the art's not the best. I'm not the best artist, but tempting here. So we have our cover for our comic, Outcasts issue 1, and it's a post-apocalyptic. Hey, long time no stream. Hope all's well my way. I hope it's all well your way too. So this takes place in like the year 3200, and it's after nuclear fallout. So you have these creatures here called the Forgotten, like the one up on the rock here that's bleeding and missing chunks of his body. And they're kind of like mutated from the nuclear radiation and everything. And then you have other people that are called referred to as outcasts. They've kind of developed like powers, things of that nature. Think superheroes, but like powers, things of. Think superheroes, but not quite as strong. Um, and society doesn't really know like how to handle them, so they're usually like shunned out and frowned upon generally. So society has changed a lot in this story. Um, in place of nations and countries, there are just outposts and colonies essentially. So this story is just going to follow a few of the outcasts, a few of the people who have developed the sort of powers as they try to save mankind. And not all outcasts are good. Not everyone means well. Some people are trying to use their powers for evil and to for personal gain. So got the cover here. We have page 1 of the comic. This one's already colored, lettered, everything. Page 2 here. And again, not all the lines and everything can come over properly onto the computer because, like I said, I do pencil and ink traditionally, and then I'll scan it and put it on here to color. So that's page 2. Then we have page 3. We're not done with that one. I'm kind of skipping around. Page 4. We have page 5. We have here page 6, which is the one that we just uploaded. Page 7, which is the one I'm coloring now. Then I also have page 8 that I need to bring in I did just finish page 8 a few days ago. It is here. We'll get this line up properly. That's going to be pretty good there in terms of, placement on the page. Anyway, so let's do this one. So we've got, this is shortly after a battle here. It's kind of falling down a little bit here. Got one of the Forgotten. Um, Currently just coloring this in, so it's a little gory, a little bloody, so I apologize ahead of time if that not sit well with anyone. Doing some of our flats here. But how has everyone been doing? It has been a long time since we've had a stream. I tried to stream yesterday, but I couldn't get things working properly. Wanted to give it another go today. I would like to try doing this more often while I work on the comic, just because I want to get it done in a few months. Get some printed out and sell them. Um, and even if like none sell, it'd just be cool to have one for me, for people close to me that will like one that have kind of supported everything and wanted to see it through. But I do have the idea to keep it going, and I've been thinking about how it can transform and how it can create essentially just a whole universe here uh, within this world that I have. A lot of ideas that I want to implement and put in future issues, and something I'd like to keep going there. Hopefully, with that means that I'll get better, so it'll be better to look at for everyone, and I'll get better at writing stories and but what's everyone doing on this Thursday? And I may even do a few pages just fully digitally, because like I said, whenever you pencil and ink traditionally and put it on here, you have like all these artifacts from like pieces of lead that are left on the pencil and random ink marks and things like that that I just need to remove, like lines that I make here and like that. You'll have stuff up here like whatever I write on the paper. All right, let's see. Oh, we have his bone here. We'll end up making that look a little different. We'll put some blood on there and some shadow. Right now we're just doing flats, and then we'll go through and oh no, we'll go through and add a bunch of detail, make things look a little better. Just kind of getting the flat colors down pat now. And then we'll start to bring it to life after we get all this done. Yeah, if I drew it digitally, I wouldn't have all these spaces in between the lines and everything here. Everyone had a pretty good week, hopefully. I feel like maybe up here, this, I meant for it to be kind of a gash skin. We're gonna try that and see if that looks a little better there. Yeah, I feel like that looks a little better, right? Yeah, we may do a live stream where we do like an entire page just so you guys can kind of see the process, kind of just drawing and everything. And even if I decide to do it traditionally, like, pencil and ink it, I could even position like my camera over my desk so that you guys could see that. I think that would be pretty fun. Maybe you guys would enjoy it. We used to do some drawing streams here on the channel, but it was never like the original comic because this is something newer. I think at one point I was toying around with the comic idea, but nothing ever came of it. The good thing about digitally too is, I'll do a lot of it, a lot of what I want whenever I'm penciling and inking, and then whenever I get it over, I can do the things that I didn't add in um, digitally. So, like, obviously there'll be some grass here. I can put the grass in using the tools that I have here in Clip Studio, that nature. I need to get rid of some of these artifacts here. So, like, this is where lead was on the paper. Kind of clean it up a little bit, I think. Some of it's okay because it needs to look a little grittier. So, like I said, it's post-apocalyptic, so we definitely need like a little bit of grittiness. Nothing needs to be, perfectly clean or anything along those lines. So we do want dirty. We do want, stuff broken. So like if we look at this next page here, in the walls we got holes. In the desk we have holes. In the, bookshelf there's chunks missing, and the clothes are ratty and stuff like that. So if you look over here, like at her shirt, got holes in it, and the floor has like a board over it, and I just want things to really look, you know, broken and trashy and post-apocalyptic. We really just wanted to get the setting right. So that's how different whenever I'm drawing, having to keep that in mind, like, because normally, like, you draw it, you want everything to look pristine, and that's just not how this is supposed to be. So I have to keep that in mind. So it's not always going to be necessary for me to clean up all of the lead that's left over on the paper whenever I scan it over. A lot of it will just add to the grittiness. So to give you an idea of what we'll do, we'll put a layer down here. Let's say we call this grass, and we'll do grass under because we want grass that's under the actual characters, right? So I could go to here. If I go to grass, let's see, I want to put grass here, yep, and see how it goes kind of behind his arm and everything. So we'll end up doing stuff like this, where we can get some grass put behind them, and really make it look like they're outside, and then we'll have patches of yellow grass, and then we'll even do like some blood on the grass, like some blood stains on the grass and stuff like that. So coloring digitally allows me to do a lot of this stuff that I otherwise would not be able to do, because obviously whenever I'm drawing it and inking it on paper, I'm not going to do all these individual, you know, grass blades. Like I know that they're there, I know I want them there, but that's what doing digital coloring allows me to do, is to kind of fill in the blanks there. Put that behind here. Now, his teeth, obviously, we need to color in. So we'll go to our flats here, and he wouldn't have perfectly, white teeth. I have some pretty crappy teeth. Yellowed. Even like two of them more brown or like dead looking almost. Something like that. And then we'll add some more grime and everything to it. I feel like for where the nose would be, kind of give them the blood here. Maybe some bright red as well, just kind of tinging it here. Oh, tinge it kind of like this. Just give it a little bit of shine to it there. It's not much, but then for his eye, like I'm gonna toy around with like some of their eyes being like, different colors and stuff. So we have like an eyeball here that we've done. I feel like we did pretty good at the eyeball. So uh it's not obviously not gonna be the same character here, because that's kind of like a flashback type thing. But we can give them kind of like that color eye, and we can go in, and this is not necessary because it's so far out, like it's such a small little detail, but we'll definitely go through and we'll kind of do this. Let's see. There. Even add like a little bit of white just for some shine around the edges, kind of. Huh. I like it. Something we can toy around with. Go ahead and finish getting this right. Let's clean up some of this spaces that we have here where there's just no color. For some reason I have some red in here, and that's fine. We'll put like some blood, you know, there. We'll put some more red here because I think I meant for that to be a gash anyway. Works out. I would say, like, penciling and inking is not the most time consuming part. It's the coloring, because whenever you start to zoom in, you see all the things that you couldn't see when you were on paper. It's because whenever you're on paper, you're not working that close. But whenever you zoom into it here, that's when you notice all the little spaces that you missed with your pencil and things like that. So honestly feel like this is more time consuming than actually drawing the comic, is the coloring. So it really makes you appreciate like people who color for a living. Like here we'll finish doing like an arm and stuff like that. Don't worry, we're not going to leave that where his arm's just like that. Or we could, kind of make it look severed here. So let's say we wanted to do that, right? So we could take in here, something kind of like that, right? Huh. You guys think, should we do that? I think so. So let's try that. Let's do here. Go here, color it in a little. This is cool because you guys can kind of see, the process, what happens. So you see something that you like, you just kind of start to do it. Now I would want another little line in here showing some bone. The only problem with that is there's not a ton of room there. So what if we open this up a little bit? Open it up a little. Let's grab some dark red on the outside. All right, dark red on the outside here. A little brighter red inside, just here and there. Now, we want the same color that I used for the bone earlier, because obviously inside your hand here, or your arm rather, you have a bone. Then we kind of just color in around that bone. Obviously, I'd want to do like a black line, maybe it's not necessary. Boom. Then, let's zoom out and see how that works. So see, we don't even have to draw an arm on here. We kind of, or the rest of the arm, we just kind of made it look chopped off just because, you know, they did just finish fighting. So he has a hand up here, he lost an arm. It works out. And we can take and draw this, you know, his hand somewhere else in the picture here. Like, we can absolutely do that. As you see, it doesn't take very long to do anything like that. So we can 110% just draw it in somewhere. I put like just a couple of things in. A couple lines just to break it up because that's a very clean section when the rest of it's obviously not that clean. Okay, now we can get back to working on the rest of it. Now, the blood here, I want to trying to think where I want to jump to next. Let's finish coloring, oh no, characters here. Let's get all of our flats done, then we'll start doing some detail. I don't want to skip ahead too far. Okay. I was going to clean up some of these lines here, but I don't really think that's necessary on it. Let's go here, flats. Go ahead and add color here. Could take and darken it a little bit for this other side of it here. Then we'll do some blending. A little pencil. Let's just fill in any gaps. Oh, darker one here. Kind of over. Yeah, the white going. Okay. Then on the inside of it, normally the trees, whenever they're cut down like this, they're like a lot lighter on the inside, you know? So definitely I'll reflect that here. There we go. That looks good there. Now this is his hand, so we want to get his color here, or his skin color rather here. One thing I'm kind of going on about and considering or reconsidering is the fingernail colors for him. I think we should do a little more pink in there, you know, a little more believable. Maybe like this, because then it looks painted, right? What do you guys think? Should it be? I don't want it to look like he has painted nails, but I feel like no matter what I do, it's going to look painted. Maybe like that. Does that look okay? That one looks alright, right? Maybe. Like that's probably the way to go. Yeah, I feel like that's pretty good for the nails for like a nail. Um, we'll do what we did a moment ago, where we have kind of a dark edge here, and then we do need to get a little bit of that bone marrow color on the inside, because obviously there is a bone there. So it's not gonna all be just bloodied up. We have this little bone in our fingers there. Not big, but it's there. Kind of grab our bone marrow color, or bone color rather. Want to come and throw that in here, and it's very, very small, but little details like that go a long way. They can smaller like that. Grab his skin complexion here. And make sure we don't have any of the white showing here. So just filling in all these areas. I wonder if everyone that imports over traditional art to color runs into this problem where you have just these gaps in the lines, and not too sure. Line, see, like this, couldn't really tell that whenever I was drawing it on paper, it looked perfect, but you get in here and you see that it's not, so there's always going to be things like that. Clean up the tip of the finger there. Perfect. Let's clean up this one a little bit too, I think. And then like the nail kind of goes above. So let's try to trim it like that a little bit. Yeah. Feel like that's pretty good. Hmm. Have a little bit of bone marrow in there. I need to get a little bright blood just to let it stand out some inside of here, because it would be a little bright here, I think. Just around the bone inside of the finger. Like that, just to kind of show it a little, I guess. I just realized who that is. The mom took Tylenol person on Twitch. Aiden, that you? I remember you telling me about that account, I think. It just now dawned on me. Perfect. Now, let's start to get some of the colors for the tree back here. Uh-oh, that's going to do the whole page because, as you can see, we don't have it all closed up here. So whenever you don't have like closed off shapes, you're going to run into what we just did, or whenever I try to drag and drop a color, it colors the entire page. So I just need to make sure I have all the gaps closed out here. Now they are. Now I should be able to do this. Okay, perfect. Drop our color in. Change to a little bit of a bigger brush here just so it's not as time consuming, kind of getting all the gaps here in this on the space here. Now for sections of trees like this, we'll do like this color again inside, and then you can also darken it up because they have like dark areas inside of there too, so they can area inside. Yeah, that'll be good. Then once we add shadows, it'll really bring it out. See, I can come over. Oh no, it's not supposed to do that. That's a totally different frame. Right? Yeah. Go on. Huh. Interesting. Go right into that frame when it shouldn't have. Should have blocked it off. Oh, I guess because it's got like a white background, maybe. Got the frame separated there. It shouldn't have happened, I don't think. 1 minute, guys. 1 moment. All right, perfect, perfect. Thank you, thank you. Let's see. But yeah, I've been toying with the idea of doing more drawing streams and stuff for you guys. So we may go that route, try to do some of those um, from time to time. I can't say for certain. I can't make any promises. Just because, like, still do get up early in the mornings and stuff like that, which is why I had to cut back on streaming a little bit, just because I wasn't getting enough rest. Um, but may try to do some drawing streams here and there. It'll be sporadic. I don't know if I'll be able to get on a schedule like it used to be. If I'm being honest with you, much as I would love to do that, I don't really think it's in the cards right now. I do miss it. I miss streaming a lot. I miss playing games for you guys and interaction and stuff. But it's the way life goes, I guess. I guess. Perfect. Let tree. Okay. That tree looks good. Now we'll work on the one back here. Working on our flats. Zoomed out too far as well. And we can take and make, just maybe make this back one a little darker, just because it is behind this one, just to kind of break it up a little, like that. Yeah. How do we feel about that? I feel like that looks pretty good, right? I don't like that. And obviously we got more trees back here, so we can take and color on this one. get even a little darker and go back here on these because they're more in the background. That one we can give a little bit of a do some variation in the colors. I don't want it all to look the same, right? So this one we can go ahead and finish up there. Go ahead and knock this one out. This one out. Color. Have another little hole in the tree there that we can toy around with and work with here in a moment. This one. Up a little. I'll do this color. Breaks it up a little. Then we need to do a little bit darker here, I feel like. There we go. I feel like that'll break it up a little bit. So we can finish up with our grass here. And then we'll start, okay, see, I can do this here too. So like, oh, that's good. So we can take a few of the areas where we have like some blood around it. Let's say we want like some blood stained grass here. Just gonna add this. Hey, what's going on, Ruby? It's going good. Just wanted to hop on. I'm coloring some of my comics, so I wanted to hop on and stream it and see if any of you guys hopped in and say hey and stuff. Hope everything's going well your way. Missed you too. Miss you guys a lot. That's what I was just saying a moment ago. Like, I miss streaming so much. I miss playing with you guys. Hopefully, you know, life changes a little bit, slows down a little, and I'm able to pick that back up. You got a new job, dude. That's awesome. Are you liking it? Congratulations. I hope it's something that makes you happy. Start February 2nd. Hey, that is awesome. Congrats. I'm so happy for you. Proud of you. I know that can be scary, like starting a new job. Better hours. Yeah, that's a good point because you had hours that were like all over the place, like sporadic days and hours. So you being able to have like a more consistent schedule, I think will be phenomenal for you. Are you gonna have set days off, or are you still gonna rotate days off a little? This is the most time consuming part with color. Is adding stuff that I didn't add whenever I drew it. Grass, like that. But pays out a lot. Pays off a lot rather. Not out. Yes, TikTok overthrew the purple. I guess so. Could be off Sunday and Monday every week, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Dude, that's awesome. Set days off, set hours. You can get everything on a schedule the way you want it. That's awesome. Have you still been doing like the dog training and stuff? How's that going? How are the dogs? Now the grass that's outside of the black line here won't matter, just because that's where I have that's the border, so that's the page line. Everything outside of it's not gonna matter. So like where I go outside of it with the grass here, that won't matter. Recently started your younger male. He's been doing great. Took some time off with dad passing, but we're starting back slowly. Yeah, I'm sorry again about that, but I'm glad to see that you're pushing through there. It's it takes a lot of guts, a lot of resilience, and I'm proud of you. I know it's been nice to get kind of back into the swing of things, you know. That's some that's that looks, and see how it makes it look like it's just kind of, I don't know, like gives it like a 3D effect kind of. I don't know how to explain it. Maybe we'll do like some bloodied grass over here, just randomly sporadic thrown out. Really meant a lot to have you guys reach out. Hey, absolutely, we're family, man. That's what we do. We gotta check on each other. Gotta make sure everyone's good. Show up for each other. Oh, I feel like where the intestines are, we would definitely have some of this bloodied grass here. Here for sure. Like around his mouth area. Ooh, what if we do that? So we have, let's see, let's grab whatever color we want to do for like his this little artery running here. And like what if we do like some of the darker red around it? Around like the hole? Then what if we leave it like kind of like that for like grass, kind of like there's a hole. Yeah. I don't know. Does that kind of kill the immersion a little bit? Yeah. Probably just do it like this would be good. Gotta love layers. Wish you could do layers like this whenever you're drawing on paper. It'd be nice. Now this is bone here, so I want to make sure that we have that. But we'll put some blood on the bone. I know the bone's kind of clean right now, but we'll eventually get it where it looks like on the cover here. Like we zoom in, we see like he's got some blood on the ribs and stuff, and we'll bloody up some of the bone on him like we have on the cover here. Like I know right now everything's bright and you know clean, but we'll dirty it up as we go along. So for the nails on this guy, figure out what color his nails would be. He would have your nail, I believe. Let's go ahead and do this just so we're not seeing grass through his toes. That kind of kills it a little bit. So we gotta dirty up those toenails too, bro. Got to. Have to do that. We'll add some dirt and grime and stuff. Have some pretty grimy feet. It's already pretty grimy with like the lead that was on the paper and everything whenever I scan it over, so that does help out a lot. It'll be interesting to see how it differs whenever we do a full page digitally versus, bringing it over traditionally. Kind of see how it differs with all the clean blacks and, none of the little artifacting that we have here around stuff. But in the meantime, we'll take it and we'll accept the benefits that it gives us. splattered here throughout. Brighter one. Yeah, look at that. See some little brighter blood on the grass there in a few areas. I feel like that's pretty good, right? One moment, guys. I have a phone call here. One moment. All right, guys. Sorry about that. I am back. I was just trying to color here while I was on the phone, just to so you guys aren't watching a screen that's not changing at all. Been working on this comic since, let's see, what dates at the top of one. Top of this one, we have what? November. Oh, I'm sorry, October. Looks like since October of last year, we've been working on the comic. We are 8 pages in. 8 pages that are, penciled and inked, and now I've just got them over on the computer to color them and everything. I'm shooting for around 12 pages for the first issue here. I'd introduce the third main character in the next page. That way everyone's introduced. We'll have them meet up, and that'll be the main group of main characters. I really like this page a lot. Like I really it was really fun drawing this page, and Just kind of seeing how it is. Just I feel like there's some emotion here. It's like he looks a little sad at what he had to do, or worn down, or I don't know. This feels like an emotional pose, I guess. I like it. Not very often that I like anything I draw, um, but I really do like this page. I feel like it was done about as well as I can do it. Obviously, others can do better, and I know I'm going over some of the red grass with some more green grass, but we'll do that. And see, another thing that we can do to break it up here is right now I'm doing grass on a grass under layer. So I can make another that says grass over. Let's see here. If I can spell. And then I can move it over the line art. Then I can kind of this. See, now it kind of goes over the stick there. See? So we can kind of give it some depth. But that's something that we'll do, towards the end there after a lot of the other stuff's done. I should have see something here. I'm gonna take and do this. There we go. Just so that it's not white underneath the grass. I should have done that before, but I say you live and learn. Um, Now there's no white between my grass patches, and I am going to make sure I do that going forward. Looks a lot better, and I can skip a few areas. It's not as detrimental that I get a blade of grass on every single spot on the page. And again, what's outside of the black lines here does not matter. It'll be cut off whenever the comic's printed. I can even do bigger grass blades if I need to, which I don't feel like I need to, just because I think it's probably the right scale that we're looking for. Grass. Yeah, because see, like around that tree, it's going to be really, really good to be able to get some grass kind of over over it there. So like this, kind of growing up and cover up some of those black lines like that. So here, see how much better that looks? Gives it some depth. You can just leave like yeah. It's gonna be really good to go back and add some stuff like that over the line art and the colors. Little things like that go a long way in what we're trying to do. But we're done over here with the grass anyway, so I feel like we can do this and kind of back around here. I don't want to overdo it. Comes to the bloodied grass, kind of some of it. We want it to look like there was a fight that took place. Maybe see how it looks if we do a little bit over there. I don't want to cover up don't want to cover up too much. Just like erratic like that. I don't know if we should do it like that or not. I'm not sure. That's going to be a decision that we'll make in a little bit because I'm not committed to it right now. Right now, we're doing underneath. Then we'll kind of fill in as we darker here. Yeah, I feel like it's starting to look pretty deep. On the side of here, just because this is a different panel, gotten it blank right now. I've got to let's do this. Let's go ahead, go to this panel. And let's around here for this panel. Right? Is that the background we're going to do for it? Or does it need to be brighter? Be a little brighter, maybe? Or we could do a color that's like completely unrelated. Like, we could do like a bluish color, just to. What color would help break it up a little bit? And the colors look like that currently just because that, so. They're obviously not that dark colors. What a yellow look. Does that blend in too much, or does it stick out? Because I want it to stand out a little bit, but I don't want it to take away from anything. So, what about more like an orangish? Oh, wrong layer. I don't know if I like that one. Purplish? That looks like it comes out of nowhere. Could just do like his color, like color of a shirt, just to imply that that's his hand, you know? Yeah. Huh. Things like this where I get hung up at. What if we do blue? Just for right now. But if I do blue, I feel like it needs to be really pale. That, yeah, maybe. We'll go with that for right now. Because if I don't go with that, I'll spend all day doing this, and I don't need to do that. See, now that we have color in there, it won't let me draw in there when I'm on this layer, because it's underneath. So it works out. Same with over here. You know, we have his another guy over here. Go ahead and color him just to avoid kind of how that looks. Grab his pant color here. Back. There's his pants. Shoes are white. Black. The bottom's black probably. Darker than that, I think. shirt. This color. We'll obviously have to fill in some of these white lines here, but that'll be okay. Not difficult at all. Do a little darker here though, like underneath where it's darker. Like that. And here we would have the tree color. That's just a gap in his arm. Same with here. Let's go ahead and may as well go ahead and just kind of do the flats on him so he's not the only thing back here with no color on him. Get his skin tone in just a moment from the page, from a prior page. Obviously, he doesn't have as much detail on him just because he's in the background there, and when it's printed, you're not really going to be able to see much on him anyway. So I'm not worried about making sure he's got a ton of detail. It's just as long as you know who he is. Will, once you get into it and get to this point, you'll know based on it alone. That's what we want to be sure of. I'm surprised I was able to make it look that good as small as I had to draw it on the paper. Because you got to remember, I didn't draw this on the computer, so I wasn't able to zoom in. Drawing on the paper itself. Goldish color here. Between everything there. Make sure the details remain the same on it. Consistency. Grab his skin tone. Back to the page. I could do hands. And we'll do shading so they will be darker. Don't. I'm not telling you guys not to worry, I'm telling myself. Little things that I have to tell myself as I'm going along, otherwise I'll spend forever trying to get it perfect and not necessary here. Kind of get the tree around them there because there are gaps. Okay, better. Not perfect, but better. More will fall into place as we go. Now, that. Over here on this foot. Okay. In between here, just because shadow a little. Nearly ready to start back doing our grass. Trying to fix up some of this stuff here first. try and finish this whole page here, the live stream. I think that'll be a pretty good live stream to come back and do. Page for you guys. That's now grassy color here. Did I seriously just do all of his colors on the grass instead of on the... Dang it, I did. Okay, whatever, it's fine. We're gonna make it work. Make it work. I did all of the colors for him on the grass layer instead of on the flat color layer. So now, whenever we do our grass, I'm gonna have to be real careful when I get around him because it's gonna show up over everything else that he has. Whatever. Be fine. Worse things have happened. Scheme of things, it's not that terrible. It's fine. I'll come back and color some of his stuff. I know that right now it looks crappy. Ray will fix it, promise. Stuff colored in. Zoom out from time to time, see how it looks. I think it's been alright. Here. Now we'll go to flats here, and I'm going to the flat colors now that on the proper layer for the main thing. On the proper layer. Rookie mistake. But for the most part. There are different ways that we could have fixed it. However, this one to be the best for me, for my workflow. This perfect. Okay, now I don't see any grass that's inside of where it shouldn't be. Okay. Now let's do some grass over. Sure it's behind that, not in front of it. Just because, like we said, it gives it depth. Perfect. That. I feel like whenever he kneels down, there would be a little grass like this. Yep. Shouldn't do that much grass in front. Braddock, maybe? Just a um definitely not be. Gonna get thicker at the base there of some of it because order here. Feel it as base there. There. Too much of it. Too high rather. Lower. And it would not. I think that does a really good job at giving some perceived depth. Maybe a little bit right. Okay, perfect. Shouldn't do that on that part. Okay. Let's go through with our grass now. Make sure we have the bloodied grass everywhere we want it. I think that we. Oh, I'm on. I should be on it. Back to grass under. Does anyone have any good plans for today? Anything at all that they're doing other than work? I'm assuming. Break some of that up a little. Don't want it looking too unbelievable. Placer. Like that's pretty good like that. Okay, now we can start doing a little bit of the highlighting, I think. Well, let's do this on the flats. So let's go into the flats here. I need to name this one flats as well. On here, let's add like some the blood onto bones. Now I have a blood here. That goes like that. Do a little. I don't like that. Something like that, kind of. That would be. And then we'll do like some. Maybe that doesn't look the best. Not sure I'm a big fan of that. Or like this. I feel like I like this one. Also, don't need to make it so perfect. Should be. And we'll add some darker. And you probably don't have to spend as much time on it as I am. Just I don't you know, do online. Want to make some red blood on here too. Always be right, perfect. That like that's looking a lot better in terms of the blood. Get some white, and maybe we want to do glow. Maybe do like a white glow. So let's take and let's add glow to this. Where the that little liquid look, right? Yeah, see how much better that looks from zoomed out there? Same thing. Long way. Maybe not so much, honestly. Wonder if it would help out if I did a few lines on like the intestines. Totally flat like that. Intestines are wet inside your body. Imagine there would be just a little light bouncing off if, or yeah, like that, like they glisten a little. Brass layer here. Have you still been streaming any, Ruby? I'm not sure if you're still in here, but if you are, yeah. See, that looks really, really good zoomed out. So adding some more of that, it just gives it so much more depth, you know. Makes it look like it's not just a part of. And like here, and just a little, kind of keep the same shapes going, the same line styles. I think that'll also turn up a little. Yeah. Now it's starting to come together. That looks really good. I feel like pretty proud of those intestines. Let's trace these. That that Dude, those intestines look pretty good. As good as intestines can look, I think. Alright, let's add a little bit of glistening to the bones here where the blood is. Because there would be some glistening going on there. I mean, they're good. They're naturally. I do believe there would be a little glow messing with the light. So okay, around the outside here. Then obviously I've still got a letter this page, which that in today's stream. But I do want to finish coloring the whole page for you guys. Because I want you to kind of see what the end product will. It's looking pretty good, I think. Not there. Back off. Switch. Eraser did not give it full shine there. Okay, what color do we need here? Need this darker color. This is gonna be on our flats layer. That one. But we'll get now our low layer. Right. Just a little bit, kind of some depth in there. Otherwise, you kind of track of everything. You have to have some light with the dark, as Bob Ross said. Okay, now we're gonna do over here. It's pretty. Have this blood drop here. Let's put a sign on it. Okay, we forgot to do this. So here, let's color. Add the darker color around it to there. Go back to our glow layer and put a little bit of. There's that. Skin's protruding through here. Let's lighting just to break up the shirt and his skin a little bit, give it a little bit of depth there. Because these are just rips inside of his shirt. Got a little glue on his face here. Just kind of break it up. Add some glue. Okay, so the sun's going to be coming from the left to the right. So, here a little. That. Gotten here. That. Sweet. Yeah. Some of the lines there. Here a little bit. Perfect. So I think that one looks pretty good. I'll zoom out and kind of see how the whole thing's looking. Starting to come along pretty good, I think. Here, this tree. I'll show you guys another little shading trick too in a moment. There's a cool like shading assist thing built into Clip Studio. And sometimes it produces pretty good results. So we're going to see if it does for us today. does, we will almost be done page here. And what we can also do is change the opacity. Okay, I feel like that's looking pretty good there. Yeah, it's got some depth to it, I think, right? I think, guys. Looking all right? Or how long have we been live streaming? 2 hours? Not bad. Okay, so we have this. Okay, now I want to try to do the shading assist. So if we go here, edit shading assist. Let's see. It may say we have too many colors to do it. No? Okay, cool. And like we said, we want the light over here, right? Reset, standard. Changes it a good bit. Standard. How does it affect it? If we make it bigger. See, I kind of like that one a little more where it's huge. You guys think? Liking it? I feel like it looks pretty good. Let's go with that. Let's see what we got here. All right. So now we have a finished page for our comic. I think that worked out pretty good, guys. I don't like the fact that I have some glow stuff here. Or is that not any of my doing? Where's that at? I need to find where that's at. Not there. Not there. Here? No, it's not there. Gotta be on one of these, right? Has to be. Like that random white line on the ground. At all. Other than that, I think we have a good looking page here, guys. I think that's page 7 completed. Maybe could take a little Russian action here. Add it on top there. I'll bring the opacity down some here. Maybe some light airbrushing, just small airbrushing. That's where we would have some like that. That helps break that up a little, right? Yeah, I feel like it does. Like that. How are we feeling about that? Good, right? Oh, I am. Shadow there. Maybe here now. Back in there. Give that some shadowing. Perfect. Shadowing around where he's laying on the ground or sitting on the ground. Healing. Because that's how it would be. I feel like we should probably do the same for our guy here, just to break it up a little. He's at back here a lot. We'll do some of this shadowing too on like the intestines and things of that nature here. Yeah, that just makes it look like he is raised off of the ground a little bit. Does a good job at breaking it up a little. Definitely does. Here, some shadowing, and here. that. Here probably. That appear to be raised. On his eyes there. Impression they're a little sunken in. On the neck. That works out pretty good there. Definitely want to have some shading in here because it is like a fold. Shady in there. Not a part of stomach on the outside. They have to have a little weight to them, so give them some weight in the blood here as well, because they should be weighted a little bit. That comes a little shadow. Kind of around it there. Looking good so far. Thank you. Have you seen it zoomed out? You want me to zoom out for you? Like we're almost done with this page. So it's looking pretty good. I can zoom it out for you if you want. Just let me know. Kind of see the whole thing. I don't know if you've been present or people have stuff going on. So zoom out for a sec. Been on a shrink. Yeah, of course. Let me go ahead and this, and I'll zoom out for a little bit. So this is the page. We have it done. Really, I'm just adding some final little details into it. Pretty happy with the page, how it turned out, honestly. Gone in, added some details on him. Yeah, absolutely. You're very welcome. Added some little details on him here. Feel like that's good. Giving some depth because it just helps break it up a little bit, you know. Here, just gives the impression that there's a lot of depth to the picture. It's not just one dimensional. Here where his shirt sleeve would be, get a little depth there. Same right here. Perfect. Folds of his arm. Inside of it there. Got where pants here. Let's give it a little bit of depth in here, because this would be, you know, even in towards the crotch area. Let's break it up a little more. As we zoom out, you'll be able to kind of see what I mean there by it just kind of helps break it up and gives it some much needed To see now on his pants, it really looks like it's got some depth. We'll also go where his shirt meets the pants, where it's hanging out over. There. Perfect. That's looking really, really good now. Same on this guy. We want to give here in the pant fold where pull back there, shadow. Same back here. Pants. It thigh area because it does raise, so always at the thighs you want to have some depth there. Shadow goes a long way. Yeah, just that little bit makes the thigh really look like it's raised, you know? Let's see. Same as a moment ago. Here, crotch area, depth. Oops, I did not mean to do that last line. You can also take and around cuts in the clothing, a little like that, so it gives so much needed depth here because it is a cut deep that around it. This round. Oh yeah, it's looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. Let's go over here and do the same thing on his skin where we have. Oh, that. Oh, I'm looking. Eraser, airbrush. Huh. Did work over here, right? Yeah. Let's go around some of his wounds here and do it kind of the same. How many pages do you have so far? Let's see, this is page 7, and I've got page 8 that I just finished the other day, which is right here. Haven't started coloring it or anything, so got 8 pages, but not all of them are colored or lettered and stuff. So like, got the cover here, it's completed with the logo, everything on there. Inside of the cover, this is probably where I'll put like some thank yous to people who are going to be buying a copy. You know, special thanks to such and such. I'll make it like a pretty cool little page. Um, Page 1 is fully completed. It's colored, lettered, everything. Um, then we have other. This one, page 2, is colored, lettered, everything. Um, yeah, it's slowly coming along. This page here, not page 6. I just had to scan it and put it on here because for some reason I'd forgotten to put page 6 on here. But yeah, it's coming along. So I got 8 pages drawn. They're not all, like I said, colored and everything, but planning on having the first issue 12 pages. So what's that? 3/4 of the way done. Well, not technically because we got a color and letter. Um, I'd say about halfway done. I want to have it done by April, by the end of April. That's my plan. A lot of contours here. Underneath the pecs. Little details like that that no one will ever really see that just sell it. And I mean, you can see it if you pay attention. It'll really show. So zoom out. I mean, it's there, right? It's for nothing. A lot of people may not think to look. But doesn't mean that whenever we're making it, we should skip out on adding those details, because details are there for those who look. I'm one of those that look, so definitely want to do it for the people who look on mine. Little details are key, absolutely. Every big thing's made up of a ton of little things. Little details stack up, give you what we see in front of us, give it some depth inside of here, inside this cavity. Backbone is because some little stuff like this, whenever we zoom out, you'll see it really does make a difference if you really look. Let's see. I feel like that hole there. Look how deep that hole looks now. Whereas before it looked like it was just a part of his skin, and now it really looks like it's caved in, like there's depth to it. Like look around, like you see, like this is a hole. Looks, and not just does the hole look deep, but inside of the hole looks deep. It's deeper. There's different levels to it. That's what we want. Absolutely. And the same with like on the intestines, like adding some depth here in the intestines, because there would fit here and there. Let's go through, add a touch here and there, gives it some weight. World weight. We don't need much on the intestines because I think they're honestly perfect for the most part. We just want to give it that little extra. And it'll help me sleep better tonight knowing I did, because this is the type of stuff that'll sit there and keep me up. It'll be 2 in the morning and I can't go to sleep, and I'm like, did I add did I add shadows to the intestines on page 7 of the comic? And then I'm up at the computer at 3 a.m. That's just how my mind works. I wish I were joking. Everyone who lives with me knows that is exactly how my mind works. Struggle is very real. So we're adding a few to the intestines here. So we're gonna zoom out in a moment, look at these intestines, kind of see how they look, and we're about to be done with this page, my boy, dude. This has been very fun getting on here doing this, man. It's I need to start live streaming this in particular more often, just so I can I can push through and get this comic done. Because I already have ideas for like, new characters I want to introduce in like the next issue, and kind of where I want the story to go. I got some plot ideas in mind. Uh, Obviously can't do that until with this. So do that. Um. Oh yeah, I think kind of see just like zoomed in here how much more like adding the dark shadow on the intestine breaks it up more. It's about to look good. Come over here. Already added some here. Streams are very peaceful. Peaceful for me too, because it's hard for me to, like I said, shut my brain down. So, like, I'll sit there and stay up till 2, 3, 4 in the morning just because my brain will not stop going. So, whenever I get on here and I do these streams specifically, art streams, my mind is solely focused on what we're doing. It's like, really is peaceful. Need some peaceful music, but then I think I'd be struggling to stay awake. So, we're not gonna bring peaceful music into the mix. Nap time in here. This inside of the blood here just to break it up a little. But for the most part, guys, more touches. That's what P. Diddy said. A few more touches. We're going to be done with this page. And I will be auctioning off the originals that I've drawn. No, I'm just joking. They're on 11 by 17 pages. They're huge. I'll autograph them. Help you list them on eBay. Just kidding. All right, now let's look at those intestines now. Dude, I don't know like if there's an award for who draws intestines the best, but your boy needs an honorable mention. Those intestines look intestiny. More depth right here. There. Plus here. And we're looking good right here, bro. Making good timing. Dang. Shame. And with that, guys, I believe those are the final strokes. Giggity. On this page. Again, this is page 7 of my comic, Outcasts. Coming soon to a comic book store nowhere near you. I will, once it's done, I will sell it on my TikTok page. I'm not going to have a ton of copies just because I don't want to print out a bunch of copies, get stuck with them. If anyone wants a copy of the comic once it's done, I've got to work out price because I've got to see exactly how much I'm going to have in it when it comes to getting it printed and everything. But if anyone wants to buy a copy, we can work that out. Like I said, I'll sell it on TikTok or something. It'll be about 2 more months before it's done. Look, the more I look, the more I find that I want to do to it. So I need to get off of here. Otherwise, whenever you guys see this in the final comic, it'll be a damn transformer or something. I'll just keep adding shit to it. Like, yeah, well, he was cool and all, but it looked like he wanted to roll out, so turn him into a Camaro. Look, how we can make the bone look like it's very, very yeah, we're able to make the bone look like brushing up certain areas of it gives it so much depth, dude. Sheesh. I don't like the way this shadow looks here. I'm gonna fix that one. See, I gotta get off here. Get off here before I mess it up. Fix his crotch a little. Oh, you're right there. Boom, 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 boom. Whoa. Sweet. And ladies and gentlemen, there we have page 7 of our comic. Outcast. Done. Complete. Finished. Finito. Someone take this stylus out of my hands before. Someone to come here and end the stream for me. Where's the mods at? Mod to come in the stream. And let's zoom out, take one final look at it. Ooh, he needs some depth right here, doesn't he? Like on his fingers, Here. Get a little bit of depth there. Here, some depth. Depth here. Depth here. Yeah. No one will ever see that when it's finished, but hey, you know it's there, don't we? And that's all that matters. I said I want to make his teeth look kind of janky, so go through here, add some of this, make the teeth stand out a little. Perfect. On the tree here, let's do a little right there, or on these rather. Just a little bit of shadowing on those. Just because they look like something from Charlie Brown. How will it look? He good? He's good to go? Or maybe more on there. A little on him. Here. Hope you have a good day. Maybe see you on stream another time. Absolutely. I hope you have a good day too. We will yeah, I'll have to get back on here and do some more of these because this was a lot of fun and it helped me get a page done when I've been kind of like not really putting it off, but just haven't been making the time for it like I should have been. So this helped me out a lot. And yeah, I think it's definitely something we need to keep going. Um, Hopefully I won't still be working on this page. Just kidding. Right here in these wrinkles, though, I'm just trying to add some depth. Sorry. Then I'll be ending the stream here in just a moment. Um, yeah, guys, I want to thank you guys. Ruby, thanks for hanging out. Nikki, thanks for hanging out. Caden, I saw you in here earlier. Thanks for hanging out. Anyone else who did hang out in here without speaking, thank you. As you know, as I've said before, it means so much. There's a million things you could do with your time. The fact that you give it to me when I don't deserve it means more than you know. And till next time, guys, I think. Hold on. I'm going to call it. I'm going to call it. Hold on. All right. We are. Ooh, what about the fold right here in the start? Hold on. All right, guys. Until next time, I need to add a little bit on him, don't I? Yeah, he doesn't have any on him at all. Let's give him some depth, and then we're good. We're gonna agree to close out after I finish working on. It's got a little. Right, we agree. We agree. He needs some drop shadow too, doesn't he? He does. He needs some drop shadow back here. Huh? Look, at all these folds in his clothes that need some shadow. It's help out a lot. But he needs some weight to it. I look like he pissed his pants. Shaking my head. I pissed himself. Later. Yo, pissed himself. Alright, guys, it's going to do it for this stream. Appreciate you all for hanging out. Thank you so very much. And until next time, we will see you later. Bye. See ya. Bye. Bye, guys. Have a good one.